It's time for another Dice Tower review with the Chief, Bart Brunsheen.
This is the Chief from the Dice Tower. I'm wearing my boonie hat. Still has my specialist rank on it from when I was a medic in the Army. So I thought it might be appropriate since we're trying to outlive some more zombies. This is Zpocalypse. The designer is Jeff Gracia. And before you think I'm pronouncing that wrong, as my wife does, she happens to be from Puerto Rico. His name is not Garcia, it's Gracia. And Greenbrier Games is the publisher. So Zpocalypse is a co-op game. It has 4 strong phases that you move through with kind of a bit of a role-playing aspect. And it's a little bit more abstract, in my opinion, than some of the other zombie games, but still very, very heavy on theme. And it handles from 1 to 4 players, and it'll take about an hour and a half, a little bit more. Or if you do really poorly, a lot less. Let's go take a look. We're looking at the rule book. Same cover as the box. It's really glossy. It's a very professionally done rule book. Love the production values, all the Kickstarters that backed it. And it lays out, oh, by the way, it's got the QR codes that'll go in and explain you more. I didn't use those, but that's a nice little touch. My wife loves those. So what does it do? Does it explain the rules well? Yes and no. It lays out your turns very well. Tons of pictures to show you everything and where it's laid out and how to set it up. But there are a few vagaries that occur between the rules and the cards. We'll talk about that later. But I do love, I mean, you can see your game phases, which is really all this game is game 1, or phase 1, 2, 3, and 4, which we're gonna go into in some more details. I love the little quick breakouts on the side. And again, just tons and tons of photos. Player board is just wonderfully designed. Once again, they walk you through the 4 different phases of the game. You've got your health points basically on this dial, your armor perfectly placed to help you with your defense. You got to make a little bit sure when you're moving this around that you don't actually mess this up. Well done. The dials are tight. They don't slide around by themselves. Your team or your squad will be as smart as your smartest team member. Your movement will be the speed of your slowest player. Makes perfect sense. Your melee skill and your firearm skill. Quick look at the heroes. They're in some ways generic. They don't necessarily fit a particular hero that's in the card deck, but they're well designed. What you do is you place them on whatever color you'll be operating, and you may have more than 2 heroes that are in your squad, but you just pick 2 that are going to represent your squad. So a little bit abstract. You can see she's got a gumball machine and the other guy's got a samurai sword. They're a little bit softer plastic, so they're not as hard. So some of the things like the sword moves around a little bit. But I liked them. I love the German Shepherd. I had a German Shepherd named Sydney. She was the best dog I ever had. Dice are very well done. 5s and the Z's. Z's are 6s or hits. These are like engraved and colored, and they're just gorgeous dice. I mean, again, wonderful production values. These are if you're going to be hit or if you're giving hits to zombies, and if you're using weapons that can break or run out of ammo, then you're going to use these little dice here. Click usually means something bad happened. Oh, there's a guitar you can play to draw zombies away or towards you and maybe away from another squad. But if you get a click, you've broken the strings, you can no longer use it for its musical ability. Of course, ammo or regular guns, you go click, you've run dry. This is your victory point tracker. You want to move your victory points up not just to win, but you also achieve certain things when you reach areas. This would allow you to move your weapon skill up 1. Which allows you to do more damage, which you must be able to do in this game. You got to be laying out a bunch of damage. During the game, you've got your bunker. These cards are put underneath. It's 2 armory cards and 2 survivor cards. These are basically here so that if your squad gets killed off, you can restart. So it helps you out a little bit on player elimination. Got my little extra zombies up here. The green ones count as 2 zombies. and the gray ones just count as one. So if you ever end up with two grays in one particular square, you just swap them out for the green. It actually is needed for the gameplay, but it does cut down on the look of, you know, the horde. The map tiles are awesome. And again, I'm going to set this down and I'm going to zoom in on it. So the game tiles are double-sided, so it gives you a little bit of variety. And they just plug in like a puzzle piece. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Again, nice production value. There's no warping in them. Visually tell a great story, and both the text and the symbology on them work out real good. Very easy, no problems at all. Very well done. I had a game in progress that I've kind of moved over. Without zooming in again, zooming in and out, you can see you've got a much larger perspective of what's going on here. The entrance down into my bunker is here, and I'm going to be defending this bunker from the zombies. You don't want them to get into your bunker. If they get into your bunker, they can get in there and they'll basically kill anybody that's in there, the sick, the wounded, the old. The game progresses through 4 phases. In phase 1, it's a scavenge phase. You're going to have your survivors. Your survivors, or it's called your squad here, they actually will go outside and they're going to be looking around for supplies. There's actually a card you draw that's called a scavenge card. Show you what that looks like here. So here you'll see it's the public library. In this case, you'll read the text. You've basically found someone in there, they can't read anymore. You got an option, do you help them read a book, which could delay you. You use your smarts in order to check and see if you succeed or not. If you succeed in getting this done, you're going to move up either on a weapon or on a melee. You're going to rescue another survivor, which is great. It's what the little symbol right here is. There's symbols throughout. So this is your armory or your weapons, firearm skill. This is melee. That means that you'll rescue one survivor. The brain is the area you'll look on your chart to see how many dice you're going to roll, and then it tells you, in this case, successes are 5s or Z's, which are 6s, and then the fail or success rate. This card doesn't vary too much from success and failure. This just means you're going to get a food card. You can see the difference here is how many armory cards you're going to get, and then this is the number of zombies that are going to be placed on a tile. You'll then draw a new puzzle piece tile. You'll connect it in. You get a bonus victory point if you connect it in closest to access point to your bunker. And then you're going to place 4 zombies anywhere that's legal to go on that tile. So phase 2 is called the feed and fortify stage. This is actually where the food that you've gathered is going to be required in order to feed your survivors. If you can't feed them, they're going to be too weak to leave the bunker. So you want to have and feed as many survivors as you can. This is also the fortify stage. You can scrounge different materials. You can then use those materials along with your actions when you go out, and you can build traps and pits and walls or gates. And these things will obstruct the movement of the zombies, slow them down, or kill them. If you kill them with your traps, instead of you killing them personally, you don't get the victory points for them. But hey, you take any help you can get, because the zombies will be marching toward your bunker. Phase 3 is the something's happening phase. During that phase, you'll draw a card. It literally says something's happening, so it's very easy to follow. You'll read the text on it. So you each got to give up 1 piece of scrap or place 1 additional zombie actually in the bunker. So generally you're going to want to do that, but again, when you're giving up your scrap, you know, these are things that help you build walls and everything later. Depending on what night it is, you're going to add that many more zombies, and it tells you how fast they're going to be moving toward your bunker when it's their turn. That'll move you into the final phase, which is the combat phase. The combat phase is just, it's dark, the zombies are out, your characters are still out moving around, and your squad will get 2 actions that they can do, and then the zombies will take their actions. As your days move on, the zombies will actually start to get their actions first. And combat continues until all humans are dead or all zombies are dead. There's still some searching that can go on during this phase. But basically that's the gist. There's a lot more to the combat in every other phase I've shown you, but I'm just kind of walking you through it. And it's a slugfest at that point in time until you come out on the other end. Now when you do take damage, you'll be taking it off your health meter. Your health meter is again based on the total sum of the health of your entire squad, so the members in your squad. As long as you don't go down to 0, you don't die or lose all those guys. And you'll refresh the next morning after you've gotten back into the bunker and rested. All right, here's the daily goals. This is where sometimes there's a little levity interjected. The gearhead just basically says, hey, you've got an idea to build a super zombie killing machine, but it's going to take a bunch of the scrap and everybody thinks you're crazy, but you show them blueprints and hey, you know what? You're not nearly so crazy. This is a Luna card. Basically, you're not afraid of any zombies, so you're going to go out and you're going to moon them. You have to get your characters within 2 spaces of the zombies, and then you're going to spend an action to drop trowel, and then start laughing. That's a little weird to me, but basically you've got a bunch of these in here. Some are silly, some are a little more funny. And they'll either give you some kind of victory points or they have different rewards. Sometimes they'll move up your weapon skill. I think some of them give you better odds or more dice or improve your health. So it gives you a little daily goal that you're going to be trying to achieve, and it does vary things up a little bit different, if not a little bit oddly. All right, we're back, and I think I'm covering it, but I have some chili going over here. Winter doesn't seem to want to release its grip, so I've got a little bit of warm chili going for later, just to tease everybody. Some of my final thoughts. I love zombie games. So a zombie game for me to be fun's got to be not only very heavy on the zombie theme, but it's got to in some way connect back thematically with that zombie genre. And that it can do it in many different ways. I'll say it only once. Zombicide did it for me in that it really covered the horde. When I play that game, I feel like the horde is just everywhere and it's very hard to escape. This game to me comes out a little bit darker. This to me feels more like what a real zombie apocalypse would be. Now you've got you know, nukes were set off in the big cities, so you've got all the post-apocalyptic stuff too. It's not just a zombie apocalypse. This almost feels like a Cormac McCarthy book. No Country for Old Men or The Road, or maybe you've just seen the movies. The books are darker than the movies, if you can believe that. And that's how this feels. It's just, I don't know, it's like sometimes I get sad when I'm playing it because I can't save these people and I'm feeding them irradiated food, or they're cooking up their own shoe leather from their boots, so now they can't move as quick, but hey, you know, they got a little bit of food. And on that note, it's a little bit dark. Now the designer tries to lighten it up a little bit. There's some campy little missions and things you can do. You're supposed to go out at some point and get close enough to a zombie and then perform some actions. It's basically you're mooning the zombies. So, I don't know, for me, I think that was trying to lighten it up because there's a few different things in here and some of the text, the color text is trying to lighten it up. I say if you're gonna go, again, for me, maybe it's not dark for everybody, but for me, this went dark and foreboding and sad and tragic. And I didn't, if I was gonna play it, I didn't want to be pulled out of it with, you know, hey, now I'm gonna moon the zombie. I'm eating my own shoe leather, but I'm gonna shoot a full moon at this zombie over here. And for me, that's the one part that didn't work for me. It just kind of broke me out of that gloom of trying to survive and get through the day and then prepare to survive another day. The combat can be gamed a little bit, and it's kind of a slugfest. It goes on until either the humans are all dead or the zombies are dead. And you can hold off that final zombie kill for a little bit in order to do some more searching, which again isn't completely thematic, but boy, you better do it if you want to win the game. So again, overall, I like the game. I love the fact that this is a new designer that's taken the zombie apocalypse and kind of given you a bigger overall picture on what you're trying to do. It's darker. For me, I just wished it stayed darker. I wanted, you know, when I'm playing it, I want to stay in that. And that's it. So, but I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys like it too. I got to go check some chili. It's the Chief. See you guys later. Bye.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.